we do this, I think. Well, bam! Let's did it!
Maybe I'll turn on my stream so they can hear you.
Okay.
That would be too crazy.
Let us begin the game stating, in at least
We just did it? Alright, okay.
some semi-official fashion.
Wow, look at this! You can put it in boxes!
Yeah, I know, it's pretty crazy, right?
I'm in a box. Oh my god, I'm in a different box. Man,
You're in a
are you trying to apply that on Matt, Adam?
Yeah.
I'm a little bit, like, encroaching on my Twitter.
Yeah, sorry. There's definitely still improvements to be made, but I think this is an improvement over, like, absolutely nothing. So, at this juncture, I feel like we should introduce everyone. Like, clockwise from the top left, there is myself. I am Adam Ragsdale. I run the stream, which we happen to be on at this point. You can find the Twitters below the pictures, obviously. I am a winner of a few. And then we have, to my right, we have Steven. Steven, you wanna say hi to the people?
Hi, people. I'm Steven.
Yeah, he's Steven.
You can find me on Twitter at 931243732, where I sell non-alcoholic root beer.
Oh my gosh.
Below him, we have the powerful wizard Cedric Phillips. Cedric, you wanna say hello?
Oh, I'm a former pro wizard. Okay, those days are over. But hello, everyone. Nice to be here.
And last, but certainly not least, in all of our hearts, is Jarvis Yu in the bottom left-hand corner. Jarvis, you wanna say hello?
Hi. Hi. I'm waving my hand high.
Yeah. All right. So we did it. So we've got not very much actually happened this past week in actual Magic the Gathering terms, but the one sort of relevant thing that did happen was the Avacyn Restored pre-release, which we, as dutiful people who produce a Magic the Gathering podcast, 75% of us did not attend, but one of us did. And of all of us, Jarvis is the only person who actually went to the pre-release, probably because he's the only person who's qualified for the Pro Tour. So why don't you tell us all of the wisdom about Avacyn Restored, Jarvis?
Please do.
A lot of cards suck. That's. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that. If you just look at like half the cards in this set, they're just all terrible.
Yeah, well, I mean, I did a set review. Well, a set review when I had Ian and P. Sam's on my stream. Basically, it amounted to us like screaming about Thatcher's Revolt for like 3 or 4 hours. But did you see any Thatcher's Revolts, by the way, at the pre-release?
I did not see a single person cast them, but it's probably a mistake to have in your deck.
I don't know what that is. I can't.
What was your opinion on Thatcher's Revolt? What were you guys? Are you guys for or against it?
I mean, it seems like a terrible Magic the Gathering card, but Ian was really excited about bringing up every single card which could make Thatcher's Revolt better in every way. He was like
that's the timely reinforcements, which is worse.
Yeah, it's the timely
100,
that
right?
doesn't gain life, and then the creatures go away at end of turn, because that's what you get for playing red instead of white. Like, that seems reasonable, right?
It's sort of amazing. Red is just white, but they made all the cards half as good. Like, that's the color pie now.
Well, I mean, that's what it got for the first, like, 7 years of Magic, right? For white, like, having no actual Magic cards except Armageddon. Is that accurate?
I would not say that.
No? No sale?
Wrath of God?
Swords of Plowshare?
Swords of Plowshares.
I don't know. I think white was pretty terrible for a long time.
Sarah Angel. Ever heard of
Sarah
it?
Angel?
Baby.
I have heard of it.
That's mighty. That is a mighty card. Well, I don't know. I mean, I've heard that Avacyn Restored Limited was, yeah, removal light and slow and kind of grindy. But that's, again, just what I've heard. I will probably not be playing with the cards until they're released online. 19th, I think? Maybe that's too early. Sometime in late May.
Did you hear, Adam, that they are going to start doing the online pre-release only a week after the paper re-release? Paper pre-release? Wow, there's a lot of like P's and R's in there. Starting this fall, there's only going to be a week lag time, so you can actually play with the set online before the Pro Tour and stuff like that. It's going to be pretty exciting.
That is a true story.
Are they going to have anything after the pre-release? Because I know that pre-releases are actually as terrible online as they are in person.
Yeah, it's going to be like 1 week after the paper pre-release, you do the online pre-release, and then a week after that, you do the release event.
Okay.
So it's the same thing as they're doing right now,
Just,
but it's like
they're just
a
eliminating
week lag instead of a month lag.
They're eliminating the month where MODO becomes useless.
Yes.
That seems good.
Yeah.
I'm on board with that plan.
I think it's hard to not like that plan.
Well, I don't know, isn't the reason that this originally existed that they were convinced that, real-life players would get mad if you did something to MODO? Because the idea that, real-life players actually were MODO players just hadn't occurred to them or something. I don't know why it originally existed.
I think the reason it originally existed was they couldn't program MODO. It took them a month to do it, and they worked out how to do it in a week by learning how to program MODO. I think that's what's going on.
I mean, the reason it exists is because you don't want to have a simultaneous online and real-life release, because more people will actually just go to the online releases because they don't have to leave the comfort of their own home. So it destroys, the income that the stores can make. So that's why they were having the actual downtime on that. It's actually very bad for them, financially, for, the stores and just for their company to have it online and IRL at the same time.
Right. I mean, I'm not arguing they should be at the same time, but I'm saying, if they aren't at the same time, doesn't it then not really matter how long the time is?
I suppose.
Yes.
I mean, the sooner the better.
Right. Okay. That seems fair.
So, Avacyn Restored, all the cards suck. Does that mean that for PT Barcelona it's just going to be like Innistrad block right now? And there's another set that you could play, but you don't?
I was thinking more towards the limited cards, really. I feel like a lot of them, there's a huge differential between the good cards and the bad cards, and there's a lot of bad cards.
I mean, there's a lot of good cards in this format for block constructed, though. A lot.
Yeah. For block constructed, there's a lot of good cards.
So there's a lot of constructive potential, but when you're playing limited, you see the 85% is just chaff.
Yeah. I kind of have a bone to pick about Soulbond because it's very easy for your opponents to forget which creature is bonded with which, especially if you have 5 of them out.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
It's just kind of a logistical nightmare.
So what is the de facto solution for that? I know on
you kind of just put them on top of each other if you really want to be clear. But the thing is, there's nothing that actually makes you do that. If you know what I mean. People don't have to do that. But it's good to just do that to keep the board state clear.
So
I mean, it's both players. It's both players' responsibility, right?
Right. But the thing is,
it really shouldn't be that big of an issue.
So potentially you could be playing at the Pro Tour and you could have your lands here on the right side of the table, your library right in the middle, your creatures half above the library, half below, and this one soul bonded to this one, and that would be okay.
I think a judge would tell you to be more reasonable probably if you did that.
That's just barely crossing the line?
What?
What
is happening?
That's quite a bit over the line.
Don't you just write it on a piece of paper and put it either on top of the card or in the sleeve if you're having trouble remembering? That's what people did with Meddling Mage, and it seems like this would be much the same.
Adam, you're a genius.
You just write loves Bob or whatever, or whatever card it is that it loves, and then you just...
Yeah, it doesn't really feel like it'd be that difficult. And I guess I get to a situation where some dude makes an attack, and then guy blocks with soul bounded, and he's like, oh, I didn't know that one was soul bounded to that guy, and it's well, that's because you're stupid and you didn't ask.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm kind of okay with that, honestly. We're getting that little tiny edge back we lost when we had 19 steps during combat, and now we don't, so... will just make the whole board tie itself up, and the game can be all about remembering your optional triggers again.
God, that would be a good
You could start playing with the creatures face down, like in the memory game. And you get to turn one up once a turn to see which it is.
Well, I mean, let's not.
Skill that magic
We're not
out.
gonna go back all the way to Onslaught, but like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I guess it's a little bit logistically frustrating. I don't know. Like, people apparently complained about like the graft block. That was Ravnica, I think. They were like, there are too many tokens here, and I never like ever had a problem with that or anything like that. So I think people just like to complain about stuff, like no matter what they do. So
really, people like to complain? Are you serious?
Yes, for real, reals. But yeah, I don't know. Like it's a little disappointing to me that I haven't heard anyone with like a super sweet verdict. Like, I don't even really care if it's the reality, but like when I asked people about M12, like limited and or sealed, they were like, it is so fast you will go backwards in time trying to play it. And I don't think that's actually true, but it makes for a sweet story, you know? And the only people I've talked to about Avacyn Restored Limited have said things like, the cards seem bad and slow. So, I don't know. I mean, we'll see how true that is, I guess, but...
Yeah, I mean, I don't put much stock in, like, initial impressions from a pre-release, where, like, you're not even playing against, like, good people, really, and you're only going to find out, like, if, like, 10 cards are good or something, because you haven't even begun to delve into the format, so...
Yeah, my experience with pre-releases was I got paired against someone with 2 Molokus, and I arrested one of them.
Did he play the second?
It was a different one, right? I don't know, but I beat him, and I was like, Moloku? It seems like a pretty shitty card.
He's back.
For only 2 power?
He's back to be a planeswalker. He's back to tap your shit.
Is that Moloku?
No, I don't think it's actually Moloku. But
Neo, cards in English, Jesus.
Well, people historically have had a great deal of trouble with Moloku's gender, so I feel somewhat vindicated in just sort of throwing Moloku everywhere.
Please do not start the gender conversation.
It says right on the card, like it's just...
Or the artwork conversation, or any of it, please.
We could have the gender artwork conversation. That's a good point, Cedric. We should do that.
Yeah.
Let's not do that.
You ever seen someone kill himself on camera?
Is that a question you truly want the answer to? Okay, so I think we firmly established that only one of us played the pre-release. You said you like murdered 1 million people. Is that accurate? It was actually all murdering?
I murdered 3 people, and then I got murdered by 1 person.
Oh, so it was just like you played one flight or something?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a little disappointing.
Your murder rate's pretty good then. 3-1?
Yeah, I mean, 75% murder rate.
I feel like any murder rate that is not 2-0 is an undesirable murder rate, really.
So the thing about this set that I learned from Timmy Ayton is that every white rare is a first pick, except for maybe Avacyn Angel of Hope.
That makes sense.
Cost 8.
But that actual every other single white rare is a first pick.
Every single one?
Every single one. Want to do roll call?
No,
Yes.
No, well...
No, I want to.
Alright.
Let's hear it.
Angel of Glory's Rise.
Is that the 3/4 that flickers?
That's close. It's the 7-mana 4/6 kills all zombies.
Is that good? Like, is the kills all zombies things good? Because when that's good, like, you are going to get them real good.
Or the Return All Humans part.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess that's probably too good then. Like, to pass.
Alright, Angel of Jubilation, 4-mana 3/3. Other non-black creatures get +1/+1, flying.
Sure. That's the Anthem thing?
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Going down the... Carthur's Crusade, 5 mana. This card's retarded. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control.
Yeah, that's the one where you just win the game if you don't die casting it, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Divine Deflection, like a Shining Troll, basically.
Yeah, Captain's Maneuver, sure.
Entreat the Angels.
That's the The Decree of Justice one?
Yep.
Okay, sure.
Herald of War, 5 mana, 3/3, flying. Whenever it attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Angel spells and human spells cost
sure.
1 less.
Air Elemental, you got me.
Yep, okay. Wait for it. Restoration Angel. Yeah, okay.
Is that the Flicker one? Are we at the Flicker one yet?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
very good.
That's a good one.
Riders of Gavany. This one might be suspect. 4 mana, 3/3 Vigilance. Enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Human creatures you control have pro from that creature type, and it is a human.
I feel like there are cards you can take pick one, pack one over that, but I mean it's pretty alright though.
You could do it somehow if there was a different foil rare or something. I mean, it's just going to name zombie all the time and just blank someone the deck, right?
I don't
I mean,
think
it can
there's
name
that many
human.
zombies.
Or devil. Like, I don't know all the creature types, but I've heard that card's really good. So.
I mean, yeah, it's
It
definitely
seems
good.
very, very good. Yeah.
Next one is Silverblade Paladin, Double Strike Soulbond.
Right.
I'm pretty sure you're not passing that ever, but could be wrong.
Well, it seems like that's a card where either it's going to work and you're going to instantly win the game, or it's not and it's going to die to shock or something. You're going to be like, you had it. Like,
And then there's Terminus, which I'm obviously
Right,
not
sure.
passing. And then the only other one is Avacyn Angel of Hope, which is 8 mana. Yeah, obviously it's a giant idiot. If the format's slow, it's good. If not, then it's bad.
yeah, sure. Okay. You've sold me. You should take white rares.
So I feel like if all the white cards are insane, then like white might be overdrafted at the PT. Directing this comment towards Jarvis, since you're going to be going in 2 weeks or whatever.
Yep.
So like I know like
Interesting stuff.
if you like look at the cards, like it's very easy to draft blue-white flyers, and it seems like it's far and away the best deck.
Yep.
So I like if like you can open all these insane white rares and people are going to be putting a white, you might want to try to find a different strategy, I suppose. But I obviously haven't played a game, so I don't know if that's true or false.
Seems reasonable. Which do you think will be more unexplored at Barcelona? Do you think people will have less idea about how to draft it or how to play block constructed?
Pretty sure draft.
I think draft too.
Yeah.
Steven, do you have a guess?
Oh, am I meant to think? I'll go with draft, yeah.
I just don't think people have the amount of time to get drafts in for this particular tournament. Whereas, like, I think that Constructed is going to change a decent amount, but probably not that much. So I feel like, I mean, Constructed doesn't really seem that hard either, to be fair, for this particular tournament. But the draft format is just, like, completely brand new and unexplored. There isn't, like, you know, there's not, like, a third set coming into an already
Right.
set format. It's just brand new. So
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's move on. The next thing I have is the MOCS, which happened this past week, which I think 3 of 4 of us were technically in, and like 0 of 4 of us were in after round 5 or something like that. But the MOCS was this past Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern, like 7 p.m. Pacific. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
that's accurate. That's
And
accurate.
it was in fact M12 sealed. There were about 700 people. I would say MOCS is basically like a Magic Online GP. You think that comparison is reasonable?
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
Definitely, yeah.
Right. So there was one of those, and a bunch of people were competing in M12 sealed because, well, I don't know why, but it was M12 sealed, and you know, we opened some decks. Mine was bad. Said his was good, and then he died anyway. I didn't even know. I tried to talk to Jarvis. He just wouldn't tell me anything, and then he died.
Bing's deck was the worst. I looked at Bing's pool, and I seriously thought to myself, probably the best build is blue-based mill. And like when you look at a sealed pool and think that, that's not a good sign.
Really? Because
Not a good sign at all.
like straight up what I thought when I looked at Bing's pool was, God, I wish I'd opened this pool. Like, that's actually what I thought.
No, your pool is a lot better than his, Adam. Lots better.
Okay. I mean, sure. I claim no expertise in that format at all. It was sort of interesting for me because as someone who like basically studiously avoided M12 at all opportunities, like I had a bunch of opportunities. I think Canadian Nationals was M12 when I was qualified and then just didn't go. But like I could have played M12 and I never did. And I got to this format where I had heard a bunch of stuff. People were saying things like blue is unplayable because the games are over before you play your 5th land. And it actually just played like a lot like other core set sealed that I played. Like it was a little bit faster, don't get me wrong, but the cards were all basically like, you know, we played Magic and then like Magic games happened and the cards were pretty much the same and then the games ended much the same way. So I don't know, like do you guys feel that that's roughly how M12 is?
Yeah.
Dude, don't elaborate.
I think, like, when you're saying that it's faster, that's sort of true. Like, there are lots and lots of creatures in M12 which cost 2 and are all sort of the same, and you can play them on turn 2 and then they attack. So that looks sort of fast, but all the decks have them, so they all just, like, run into each other and die, and then you're still just playing M12 sealed, and someone with a casted Jace, and the game's over. That's my opinion.
I feel like the format's a little bit faster than some formats, but like nowhere near as fast as like Zendikar block or anything like that. It's pretty quick. Like there are pools like the one that I opened that lend themselves to being really quick. If you have like a bunch of Tormented Souls and Goblin War Paints and Bloodder Skies, then then you can build an aggro deck. I still think you would much rather open Titans and that sort of thing and be like more of a defensive deck, or maybe just like more of just like a slower deck instead of having to play a bunch of crappy 1/1s to get in for damage, because that feels like more of a draft deck than a sealed deck. So I think it's a little bit faster, but not like crazy out of control fast like Zendikar block was, where you just kill people on turn 5 or turn 6, and cards like Heartstabber Mosquito were unplayable because the format was too fast. So
yeah, I think that maybe it's like it seems fast due more to lack of a slow strategy than due to like a fast strategy being good, because there's so little card advantage in the format, there's so little card selection that a lot of the higher end cards just don't really have a place to shine at all.
Did anything fascinating happen in the MOCS besides all of us dying, which isn't really fascinating, I don't think? Like
in the top 8 draft, someone first picked Kraken's Eye. Whenever a player casts a blue spell, you may gain 1 life.
Sure.
Nice.
Casting fast artifact.
I mean, it's definitely the top 8 of a sealed event, and definitely top 8 sealed events, based on their sealed pool, first and foremost.
Right.
Dude, that's very impressive at that. Did that guy go on to win the tournament?
I will say that one thing I know happened was that in Game 1, the guy who won the tournament cast Fling and sacrificed a Death Touch creature to throw it at something it would not kill, and then complained in the text box about how the game was trying to get him, and then he just won the next 2. So
I was actually going to say that, bring that up. The guy, the guy's very mad about it, and then the opponent said, read Fling, and then the guy conceded 2 turns later, and then won the tournament anyway.
It just says on the card, Fling deals damage equal to the sacrificed creature's power. That's the thing where you would cast the card, and then they'd be like, read the card, you'd pick it up, and you'd be like, oh, I'm dumb. Okay, alright, you may go.
Can you imagine just being on both sides of that? For the guy who cast the Fling, he's super mad that there's a glitch or whatever, and then it's you're stupid, read your card. And then he's like, God damn it, why did I do that? I've been up for 12 hours playing this dumb tournament, and I just do that?
12 sealed.
And then he wins, and then the other guy, who has the guy throw away his Death Touch guy, doesn't have his guy get killed, he's like, yes, I'm gonna win, what a moron, threw his card away, threw his game away, and then he loses the tournament.
Yeah, I mean...
The extremes are so awesome.
Yeah, that's magic. We seem to have lost our Jarvis.
Jarvis is gone.
I don't know why we lost our Jarvis, but
On the other hand, you have the edge of my apartment in Jarvis's screen. That's pretty cool.
That's true. I like that.
It makes a lot of sense.
How did you do that? Ooh,
I'm a wizard.
I'm done. Not yet.
So yeah, I don't think we really need to I don't think anyone in the actual universe, like after this tournament, no one in the actual universe cares about M12 Limited, right? Like there's never.
I told you.
Yeah.
So,
M13 is coming out fairly soon. Is that correct? Like.
I think it comes out over the summer, or like back end of the summer, probably like July-ish.
Okay, so in the not too distant future. So it will be back with the same kind of gross nobody wants to play it rap, but
Right. Is there a too distant future for a core set being released? I don't know.
Well, they used to not come out forever, but what are they, every year now or something?
Yep. Yep.
Yes.
Exactly.
The release date on M13 is July 13th.
Okay, that makes a weird sort of sense.
I've enjoyed drafting M12 more than I think most people. I think it's a very, very simple format, which is two things to it which nobody gets, and because of that you can get a massive edge and win a lot. But it's a core set limited format, and M13 will be too. So you can look forward to that.
Good read.
Yeah.
And then the only other, I don't know what to do about Jarvis. He's gone from the internet. An actual tree fell on his house.
The internet and
Yeah.
He was too handsome. He was
Yes.
swarmed by ladies.
He was in fact the dude in that Axe commercial that attracts them like magnets. So yeah.
I don't know how that works, man.
The-
Jarvis is handsome.
The other thing that occurred, I believe, was there was in fact a MODO PTQ, which happened it was actually on simultaneously with the MOCS, I think. The
It was
length.
the next day, wasn't it?
Well, it was the next day, but the length of the
I see.
MOCS was sufficient that I believe
Right.
they were both going at the same time at some juncture.
Gotcha.
correct.
And I didn't actually see the whole top 8 because somehow the event crashed and they had to make a new event.
There was the most apocalypse.
Which only had the top 4 in it. I know that regardless, the man who Cedric several weeks ago said created the Mighty Glimmer Post ramp deck was in fact the victor. Which
Ding.
seems reasonable to me. Oh god. Now everything's every which way.
What
Jarvis
have you done?
ruined us.
Yeah, Jarvis has done horrible things to our face.
Bing Luke, of course, in this MODO PTQ lost the win and in round. He was only 17th place, so we didn't bother inviting him on here this time.
Yeah.
That's unimpressive.
He went lose, win 6 times lose or something like that. Is that correct?
I mean, it wasn't the top 8, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. He told me I know he lost round 1 and he told me he lost the last round. And he won however many rounds were in between that, which I think was 6.
Yeah.
But
He did observe well, again. He's very good at
didn't get there because he's a terrible person.
Classic thing. Never loses ever.
But yeah, I mean, the thing I wanted to say is that I think Ramp is really good against the decks people are playing. It's weird to me that Ramp is growing in popularity, but no one's going back to, that incredibly mopey blue-black deck that's just I'm a get 'em! Fuck your Primeval Titan! That's what people do. They see that you're playing that deck, and they're I will get them with this deck, but no one is willing to play Knifey Spoony with this, apparently. So...
people aren't going that deck because Delver is just still ridiculously popular. In the PTQs. So, and they just can't beat it.
Well, yeah, I mean, Delver's really good. I just think that Ramp is better against, Red-Green, which Delver is actually kind of gross against.
So it's a
Agreed.
paper, scissors, rock format where scissors is getting thrown 30%, paper is getting thrown 70%, and rock could beat scissors, but why would you play it in that format, obviously?
Sure. I don't know. The reason I'm unhappy about this is not because I fundamentally hate people who play Ramp, it's just that it seems like the mirror is so gross. Also, it seems like you get random pair-ups, like you get paired against Cuneo or whatever sometime, and you just want to die. Like, you get paired against the decks that are playing blue cards for actual no reason, and you'd be like, why are you doing this? Like, why is Psychic fucking remove Soul in your main deck, and then they just kill you.
I like how Cuneo's name is like just synonymous with an entire
With
archetype.
blue, I do nothing?
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
blue-white
out there.
does nothing ever.
Yeah,
Everybody understands what you just said.
yeah, I think he's done enough work to pioneer the field. I think that's fine. But yeah, like, I don't know. I kind of, this Jarvis thing is really screwing up this whole thing. He just won't let it. I don't know what I've done.
Just like call your mother, get her in on the call in Jarvis's spot.
That seems like a good strategy. I wonder if she'll have any penetrating insights on the rampant versus Delver matchup.
Probably. She's probably. Oh, God damn it.
Compared to Jarvis, she may have more insight. She might
Yeah,
not be
you think she'll
better.
just be like, yep, and then we'll move on. Alright, we're going to try and get Jarvis back once more, and then if that doesn't function, then we'll just...
What just happened? Whoa!
That's right.
Yeah, there's truly wizardry afoot. Do you, I don't know, like, I'm talking mostly to Seth here, like, do you think that ramp is just where everyone should be? Like, should we all be finding the beast within our forest? Because that seems like a thing which happens, like, fairly reliably in the mirror, and that's just not really a thing I want to do.
Like, do you want to, are you asking me should you be playing Beast with it, or are you asking me
No,
should you
I think you
be
should...
playing Ramp?
Yeah, should you be playing ramp? Like, I think you should definitely, if you're ramping, there should be beasts within stuff. My question is just, like, should we all be trying to cast Primeval Titan? Like, well, that's sort of how I feel about it, but that was a pretty impressive look for it.
Oh, so the reason I made that look is because I cast the Zenith for 6 to get a Titan against this Tezzeret guy, and it didn't happen. It didn't come into play, so I restarted my Modo, and it's still not in play, and then I looked at the Grafdigger's case that's on the table.
Ah, that's unfortunate. You've been
So that's the
tased.
reason for my face. As far as if you should be ramp or not, so I thought of the rule of, like, there are some people who like to play the best deck and there are others who don't. I still believe, like, without a doubt, that Delver is the best deck. So if you just want to play the best deck, then you should definitely just play Delver and just, like, master it like Ming has, or, you know, like Shahar has, or the people who play that kind of deck. But that's not the kind of deck that I ever play, and I'll never will with that kind of deck. So if you're looking for an alternative, then by all means, I think that Ramp is a really good alternative, and I think that actually I don't think that red-green deck is good. And that Esper deck is okay. It's like good at beating Delver, but very bad at beating Ramp. So
We're talking
I
about,
think
like,
those are the only
Lucindo?
options of the format.
The Lucindo, like, list?
Yeah, like just the Lucindo deck. I think it's like pretty good at beating Delver, and not good at beating anything else.
I think it's okay at, like, green non-ramp decks. Like, I think it's good against red-green aggro and, like, pod
Sure.
and stuff. But yeah, no, I agree with your assessment against ramp. My next question was actually going to be, like, if you were to take Lucindo's deck, what would you do to make it gargle fewer dongs against a ramp deck?
Well, the thing about Lucindo's deck is that if you jam 4 mana leaks in the board, you'd probably beat Ramp like most of the time. Because when I play against that deck, I'm just a maniac. I just cast all my spells as soon as I can. Because I know he doesn't have any counter spells. So that if someone was like, well, fine, I'll just board the mana leaks and just counter their Titans because they're going to cast them right away, they would probably win. Like, a good amount of the time.
Well, he has dissipates. Like, he has 3 dissipates on the board. It's not like there are no counters in his 75. But yeah, like, game 1 is just so bad. And then game 2 and 3, like, you have a bunch of answers to Primeval Titan, but very few of them are before Primeval Titan is in play, and then you just don't have any answers to their lands.
Yeah, you don't have like that many answers to their lands, and you don't have a good answer to Karn, really.
Right.
So,
And you can't
like,
really...
I seriously think if someone like jammed 4 leaks in their board and then like boarded out those shitty dead weights and ratchet bombs for like leaks or like more Lilianas, then we wouldn't be able to win. But
Okay, so you think there is hope like from the sideboard basically, or like for different
Absolutely.
configurations?
Absolutely.
Right.
Hope from
Yeah,
the sideboard.
I think that's reasonable. I think you just lose like I think if you cut the dead weight, suddenly you're at a point where you're like, yeah, back to 43% against Delver, and like suddenly
No, I'm just saying they should board dead weights out against
Right.
them. That's all. They should still have them in their deck.
like that's what I'm doing. Like I have played that deck for several days, and it still feels terrible to me. Like you board them out, but they board in cards that actually matter, and then like game one, your deck is better against them, but their deck is also a lot better against you. Sort of how I feel. So I feel like the games are kind of even.
The way you said that sounded like such a struggle, Adam. I've played that deck for several days.
Well, I don't know. It was really fun when my opponents were playing decks that had creatures and were trying to kill me with like grizzly bears. But when you draw a hand that's like Wrath of God, Ratchet Bomb, Deadweight, and 3 lands, and then your opponent is like, I'm playing Tezzeret. Like you just want to commit suicide. Like, and like every card in your deck just does that. Like your deck is like 40 Wrath of Gods and 20 lands. So sometimes you get paired against someone who isn't casting grizzly bears, or like is casting really big grizzly bears that come with extra lands, and those decks just kill you.
Right.
So, I don't know.
Dude, I'm getting the business from this Tezzeret deck right now.
Yes, I have experience with that.
Like this is a one-sided beatdown if I've ever seen one.
How is Tezzeret still in Standard? Isn't that card from like 7 years ago? The same Japanese guy's been playing it in every deck for
Yeah,
my
Shouta?
entire lifetime, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But it's still in Standard somehow?
Yeah,
That's
it's still
impressive.
there. It's just still not good, but he just still
Yeah.
jams it. He loves it.
That's okay. As long as he's not trying to tell people that it's what he should be doing with their lives.
I agree.
That
I
would-
can't play this game anymore. Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else sweet that happened. But like, we
Over
covered.
the weekend? I played a MOMR tournament over the weekend. Joe and Rib returned to MODO.
How did-
I 3-1'd it. 3-1'd it.
Wow, I 3-1-1
You did.
before we started. You got to see some of the last round, like if you turned in before I went live. I made some random creatures and attacked, but that's thrilling. I don't know. I feel like
You literally made random creatures.
yeah, I feel like
What?
Moto's in kind of a gross spot right now because we're in apparently the last, but like the time where it's right about to just not matter for like a month. And
Right.
I don't really know what we're supposed to do about that. Like for me as someone who streams regularly, like every day pretty much, I don't know what I'm supposed to do when people are like, yeah, I'm playing Standard at my local store and I'm like making angel tokens and I'm like, well, I'm not because I'm in a time machine. So
Here's the deal, Adam. You have 218 viewers right now. If we can get, on average, 8% of those viewers entering 100-card singleton events, we can get them firing again.
we can
I'm
get
just gonna
Oh,
say.
yeah.
we could make a kaleidoscope event fire for the first time in the history of the universe. Like we could
Yes.
make the first kaleidoscope event.
Let's do it. Let's make MODO a thing. All of those real-life players who like secretly want to play in the sanctioned kaleidoscope events are going to see their card stores and see that there's no kaleidoscope and then look to MODO, and there will be kaleidoscope.
That might be the worst master plan I've ever heard.
If I said I hate you right now, don't take offense to that.
I would never take offense to that, Cedric.
Okay, perfect.
That's my goal.
All right.
This hand. Ooh, this hand's better. Yay.
Yeah, is there anything else sort of fascinating that we need to talk about that's been going on? Does anyone else have any fascinating ideas? Like, as I said, trying to think of other things that happened. That dude from Florida won the PTQ. I don't know who won the MOCS. Lord Nazgul? Like,
Yeah, just some dude.
yeah. Some gem. And, like, he really wants to throw his Greater Basilisk at your monster, and I don't know. Like, Maybe he played really well, aside from that. But I just, like, I went to the finals, and I was like, oh, I wonder who won. Oh, it was someone who tried to do things and then complained when they didn't work. Like,
I mean, the guy's probably pretty good, right? Like, he can't be that bad.
you're gonna...
We could
like,
bring up his draft and talk through it. That could be fun.
I mean...
It could be really fun, Adam.
Was he the guy who first picked the Kraken's Eye? Like...
No, he was not.
Okay.
I wish it was him, actually. He handicapped himself and won anyway.
Well, it's gotta be... it had to have been a timed-out pick, right? Like, it can't be like he looked at the 15 cards and determined he wanted the Eye of the Kraken. Like, he was going to assemble the whole Kraken in
It's
the back.
the eye of the Kraken.
Okay.
What was that? What was that noise that Dragon made? I want an
I'm trying to find
explanation
his
and I want
draft
it now.
here so I can see his deck.
It was an Eye of the Tiger reference, I think, is...
It was horrible.
Adam's got it. Adam's
Yeah.
got it. Well, the song was horrible. I'm only working with so much.
Oh, you know who top 8 this MOCS? Ben Weinberg.
God, I was hoping no one would bring that up. God.
You don't like Ben Weinberg?
Which one is...
No, no one likes Ben Weinberg. Are you kidding?
Really? I don't know. I thought he was
Nothing
pretty...
to like about him.
I don't know, he was nice to me.
Come on. Or, I don't hate Ben Weinberg, but if I had a preference of
Which...
never talk to Ben Weinberg again or talking to him, I wouldn't talk to him.
Okay.
There.
He's a first shot.
He is first shot, that's correct.
And he first picked Frostbreath over Royal Assassin and Sarah Angel.
Yeah,
What
oh
did you-
my
what happened?
God.
What did you say?
He said that he
Oh my
first picked Frostbreath
God.
over Royal Assassin and Sarah Angel.
I looked at all 8 of the 6, all 8 of the first picks, and 6 out of 8 of them, just like...
No, so what Ben said he did, he said he right-clicked on Royal Assassin, but then Moto picked for him randomly.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know anything about that format, but I would have taken Royal Assassin, like, really fast, because I've played with Royal Assassin in Core Set Limited before, so...
Yeah, Royal Assassin, it's, I
You
mean, the
bet.
combos with
You
Frostbreath.
believe you.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was like a really light weekend. There's not that much to talk about. Only one of us went to the pre-read. I don't think Jarvis wants to talk about block decks because he's got to get ready for this tournament.
Well,
He's going to go 0 by that.
I wanna... yeah, I wanna talk to people about block decks.
Come on, 1-4 at least. 1-4 at least.
1-4. That's good,
Last time
I
I
like
went to
the
a Pro
optimism.
Tour, they gave me a bye. That was pretty sweet.
You got a
Yeah, you
buy?
buy at the Pro Tour?
Yeah. Well, if you lose enough, they will actually give you one.
That's so nice of them. Who said that Wizards doesn't care about their players?
Yeah. It was pretty sweet.
Oh, there's a cube happening on May 2nd for an entire week.
Yeah.
Talk
And they're
about
giving
that.
out TPF packs when you win. So like
Oh my
they're
God.
actually giving you fool's goals. They're just like, here you go, have fun.
This is literally gold, which is not real.
Yeah.
They're giving you gold. We don't care.
Well, yeah. I mean, I didn't play the cubes the first time because I was like, hot damn, this is some sick value they've got going on here.
Oh, that's why I played. But then I found out it was Phantom. Entire first draft I was rare drafting them.
Darn.
You deserve that.
I find that joke really funny. I'm too sarcastic sometimes.
You deserve that. No, the cube is sweet. I can't wait for it to come back.
Did you do it a bunch the first time, Sad?
Yeah, I actually just I conceded life for the 3 days that it was on. I didn't do anything but cube actually.
Well, I
for
did,
the
yeah.
3 days.
I mean, I did 14 over 2 days, which I don't know how many, like, but that was just all I could fit. Like, I would get up, start streaming.
That would be 7
Yeah,
per day.
it was a 7 a day. Like, I would do
Yeah.
7 drafts. That was how long I was able to remain awake for, and then I would, like, turn off the stream and fall over and get up and do it again the next day.
Yeah, that's all I did too. I just jammed them all day every day.
Yeah, I was a little bit disappointed because, like I tried to sort of draft around the spectrum to show people what kind of neat and interesting things you can do in cubes, because it's not, like, new or really novel for me as someone who has cubed a lot, but it's just, like every time I was in blue, I just murdered people, and every time I wasn't in blue, I just died to their terrible, like, 4-color ramp decks. that was sort of my experience. Like, people kept
Terrible,
asking
Adam.
me upheaval and stuff like that, and I was like, why are you doing this? Like, why do you make me hurt you? And I don't think I had a blue deck that didn't at least make the finals, because blue is good when everyone is drafting, like, 4-color ramp. So,
Yeah.
They should just draft 2-color ramp, and their deck will be better.
yeah. I mean, there are ways...
Adam Ragsdale on the color pie.
Well, there are ways to beat blue in cube drafts, but no one was doing them. Like, people just refused to play aggro decks. They were like, why would I do that when I could play 5-color decks? 5 colors equals 5 times as good. So, yeah, I don't know.
If your aggro deck is 2 colors, it's only 2.5 times as good.
Right. I mean, I had a couple sort of interesting decks. I attempted to make the Mind's Desire deck, and, like, I did channel the Genesis Wave. I lived that dream, so...
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, like, I'm... Yeah, that's the
What is that noise?
Sound effects mid-game.
I'm somewhat interested in Cube coming back, but I'm not, like, overjoyed for it. Do you guys feel the same? Like, are you guys really happy about it?
I still want to be able to make my own cube. Like, that's what I thought was happening when I said cube was coming to Moto. I thought, man, I'm going to get to put the cards in my collection into a cube, and then my friends can draft out of them. And that's not what's happened. So that's what I want to happen. I mean, the cube is, as it is, would be, I don't know, it'll be fun. But I'm still disappointed.
Yes! It's story time. Story time. You ready?
Story time. I'm ready.
It's game 3 against Tezzeret. My opponent has a Grafdigger's Cage in play, and he just cast Gruesome Encore on my Primeval Titan.
I don't know what that card does. Is the
Neither
answer
do I.
nothing with a Grafdigger's Cage in play?
Jarvis thinks it's really funny there.
It's
It's
sort
fun.
of animates from your bin, right? Like something like
Yeah.
that?
Yep, that didn't work.
Okay. Well,
Oh,
that puts you guys even at 1-1 with Grafdigger's Cage in play, right? Like, you're not taking the lead on this. You guys are both at, like, tap 7 mana or whatever, like, do nothing, discard a card with Cage in play.
I feel so powerful right now. Why does he have Gruesome Encore in his deck? First of all.
Because he's LSV, clearly.
No, he has the Doomblade from next.
Is he
No. His name is Mesmerized, and I am not mesmerized by his
Yeah,
play.
he's the only person who plays Tezzeret, apparently. Like, he's the dude that murdered me. Or maybe I beat him. I don't remember. He's the dude that I played against recently. And people will occasionally ask me, like, how do you feel about Mesmerized's Tezzeret deck? So he is apparently the master of the Tezzeret.
Is that true?
That's what I've heard.
All right.
I believe it's Tezzeritis, I believe, is the plural.
Okay.
Let me get him.
I feel like we should probably shut her down in terms of podcast, because Joan Ribs is starting to spin around on his chair and make up words. So,
No, I have so many more fun words to share with you, Adam.
That's because
Okay.
he's been a little drinky poo. How's the root beer?
I haven't been drinking root beer for like 15 minutes. I'm sober now.
okay.
How are them root beers? Boop. My opponent just played a Blood Gift Demon. This guy's got every card in his deck that you can imagine is in there.
I can imagine a lot of cards. You are in for a wild ride, sir.
I mean, yeah, this ride is going to get bumpy soon. He's got to have something.
Well,
Adam,
he already has had the Blood Gift Demon. Like,
Yeah, he's had the Gruesome Encore. He's cast Night Terrors on me.
oh, you had the Night Terrors?
He had the, yeah, he Night Terrored me. It got scary fast.
Okay.
was it at night?
It's like,
Oh, a Primeval Titan. I like this card. This card's fucking good.
does making people discard their Titans actually do anything against this deck? I feel like it just doesn't. Like, I feel like they just draw another Titan and then put it into play.
Ah, yes, you figured it out. You are a genius.
Right. Well, I mean, I've been a wizard for many years. I don't expect other people to operate on the same level. But, like, there's that terrible duress, like, reverse Inquisition in the new set. Like, that's not actually, people can't actually do that if your plan is to Titan them, right? Like, it won't actually...
I would not think that they could do that, but I'm sure some people will try.
Well, yes, I am equally certain of that, but...
Yeah, it's not good.
Okay, alright,
If
good.
you have an appetite for brains.
has a good name.
Yeah. I mean, I do.
I suppose it's a good name. Yes, I won't fight that.
I do like delicious brains, but
Such brains.
I like all brains.
Right.
Really. We should take some questions from chat before we know.
Ooh, I like that. Let's take questions from the chat.
let's question it up.
Yeah.
Any questions from
We
the
have to
chat?
wait 10 seconds.
If anyone has
till
any questions about the
say that.
WWE
Another-
pay-per-view yesterday, I'm willing to answer all of them.
I have a question about the recent Seattle Jays series. Like, how did we lose the first game like 9-4 or something? Is this a completely different Seattle team? Didn't they score like the lowest runs in the history of anything like last year?
Now, Seattle still sucks, but they're on a heater right now because they like swept the Tigers, and then they came in, they beat the Jays, and then you guys won like the next 2 or 3 games. So what's the problem?
Hooray! No, I don't know. It was weird to me that I saw like a 9 next to the word Seattle, or the name Seattle.
Everyone's lucky once, right?
Yeah.
Did you like Extreme Rules, Cedric?
Did I like it?
Yeah.
It was fantastic, actually. It's one of the best pay-per-views I've seen in a really long time. The Brock Cena match was sweet. The Daniel Bryan Sheamus match was sweet, and the Jericho CM Punk match was really good. So I was very pro that pay-per-view.
I'm glad we actually got an answer to that question. That's exactly what I was looking for.
So there you go. There's an answer for you. I'm going to attack now with this solemn simulacrum opponent.
People want to know what we think about Vexing Devil.
I think
I am not gonna
mostly
answer that.
terrible.
Mostly terrible.
Yeah.
That implies that it is minorly not terrible. So what's the minorly part?
If your deck is full of lava spikes, it might be
Yeah.
playable, but
I mean,
that's it.
if you want a lava spike,
This is the 4-3 for 1 where they can take
yeah.
how much damage? Just 4.
Yeah.
Take 4.
If you want lava spike, and there are some decks that do, apparently. Like, isn't there a legacy deck that just plays lava spike straight up?
Yes.
This
Yeah.
might be
Yeah.
a somewhat reasonable option in that circumstance.
I wonder, even in that deck, is it a good option? Because don't they have like 8 creature kill spells in their deck most likely, and then you play this one and you're like, take 4, and they're like, I can't.
Yeah,
this
I mean, it might not be
card.
good enough there either, but
Right,
I
yeah.
think we all sort of have the same opinion. Is there anyone who thinks that card is actively good?
I
Okay,
think that card is like unplayable bad.
okay, alright, very good then. So our opinions range from like unplayable to maybe if you're playing Lava Spike in your main deck.
Yep.
What is Kaleidoscope? That's a good question.
It's a Magic the Gathering online only format that they instituted when they killed some of the older fun formats. They were like, we will let you have fun playing only gold cards, and it has never actually happened in the history of anything. Like, it literally has
Yeah.
never happened.
And it has
Yeah.
No! It's not funny!
Yup.
I'm gonna lose to this terrible Deseret deck.
Oh, such a sad
What is
deck.
the start? What is the best way to start playing Modo and go infinite? My opinion on this one is the pauper constructed formats. Like the highest EV formats are the constructed ones, and the lowest barrier to entry format is the pauper one. And lots of people play pauper pretty badly. So if you want to start on Modo, I would say, look at the pauper top eights, pauper dailies, 4-0 decks. Look at which ones are doing well and build one of those. And yeah,
Unless
start
it's
playing.
mono white.
Just what I
If
do.
it's mono white, find another one.
Probably don't build mono white and don't build blue-red post, because that's a really good deck, but you will actually kill yourself before you go infinite, and it's probably undesirable. But the other ones are fine.
I mean, I actually get that question a lot, like on my stream. And I just tell people pauper and momer, basically, because constructed is,
Oh yeah, Momer's good.
constructed is how you make a ton of tickets, like with very little risk, and those are the cheapest ones to get into.
Yeah,
Definitely not limited.
Yeah, just don't draft. Like,
Stay away from...
ever.
as long as you don't draft, I think it's honestly pretty hard to pick a bad format to play on Magic Online. Like, if you really have to play limited, can't you can just play, like, the M12 sealed dailies or, like, even the Innistrad block sealed dailies and, like, be kind of okay, I think.
I would not play limited.
Well, I mean, I don't personally do them, but if you really feel like limited is where you want to be, I would take daily events over, like, just ramming 8-4s.
Right. Cedric,
Sure, I
what
agree
do
with
you
that.
think about incorporating Cavern of Souls into ramp? How does the ramp deck change to accommodate Cavern of Souls?
How should the ramp deck change to accommodate that? That's a good question. I really don't want to cut my Glimmer posts because they're really good. Probably can't cut any more basics either. But I don't know, maybe you just cut Glimmer posts to play them, even though that doesn't sound very good. But you probably can't cut any Nexuses or Wolf Runs either.
I've actually thought about this in great detail. You can just board Glimmer Post.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I really like that, Garz. I was about to suggest sideboard, and that sounds really cool.
Because, like, so here's the thing about, like, Cavern. It's pretty good in your main deck, but the decks you generally want Cavern verse, that you want Glimmer Post verse, you generally don't want Cavern verse, with the exception of, like, Delver.
Yeah,
Who
with the
plays
exception of
that
Delver.
But, like, if you want both, it's going to be very, 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 very tough to incorporate both in your main, and you probably shouldn't try.
Yeah, I definitely agree that you can't play both. I don't know, boarding 4 lands seems crazy.
I mean,
if it's right, it's right. I'm not gonna say it's wrong, but it's like
hard to-
that's a big step to take.
Right, yeah.
I've been trying it. It's been reasonably good for me so far, but, like, I'm willing to admit that it could be wrong.
Here's a question I have. When is the next standard event, like, after Thingamabobber?
This
what-
Saturday is SCG Providence, so
Okay.
we'll see some stuff.
And then...
All right.
And then I know there's a GP because I'm actually supposed to be going to this GP, and like I will actually be there. I'm not certain I will have a deck of Magic the Gathering cards to play with, but I will be at the event.
You can probably get one.
Do you have any suggestions? Because I'm all ears. Like,
Oh, I'm not going to that event, so you can't bum off me. But
okay. Well, it's a nice theory.
I have heard, Adam, that there's a card, the Delver of Secrets.
Well, okay, but I don't own that Magic card, so I'm not.
You know,
not
I
sure.
think I can.
We're having trouble with supply of Delver of
No,
Secrets.
I can definitely mail Adam 4 Delvers.
All right,
Are you
excellent.
sure? Wait, Adam has donations for a reason. Viewers, this man and his cat needs 4
It needs
Delver
an entire standard deck. I don't know. I'll try and get a deck from somewhere, but like, the actual standard question stands. Like, it's just there's a Star City this weekend which includes it, and then is there anything between now and Minneapolis, which is 20 days or so?
I don't think so. Man, Minneapolis is coming up fast. I wish I could go. That tournament's gonna be fun.
Well, I'll let you know if I actually play in the tournament.
Wait, Cedric, are you
I
going?
believe Avacyn Restored will be on MODO in a month.
I don't think if I had to make my decision right now, I can't go, because I'm in the process of starting a new job. But if I start making money at said new job faster than expected, then I would definitely go. But right now, it doesn't seem like it's going to be a good fit, which sucks because Minneapolis, is like my 3rd favorite city in the country. So
What are your first two?
San Diego and then Seattle.
So you live in your 2nd favorite city, not your 1st favorite.
Yeah, I can't afford to live in my 1st favorite city. It's expensive to live there.
As opposed to Seattle, where it is very cheap to live.
I mean, Seattle's fairly expensive too, but I'm, getting by. But
Right.
San Diego is like double it. It's just ridiculous to live there. You just have to be stone rich or whatever to live in paradise. But we'll be there in soon, 3 or 4 years.
What is the worst blowout that each of us suffered in the cube drafting on Modo? Mine is really lame. Mine is just my opponent upheavaling me. I feel like that's true for most people. Upheavals is dumb.
That's what happens when they resolve upheaval. That's correct.
Yeah, yeah.
The best is when they
I'm trying to think of a...
The best is when they upheaval you and then play something stupid that still kills you. Like
I
think upheaval thieving magpie is my favorite. Yeah, you can do some dumb stuff. Like I've seen upheaval Moloku is pretty good. They're like, and now this. Oh. Yeah.
I lost to a Baneslayer Angel, which just pissed me off because it's just really bad in cube. So.
It was my only creature in one of my blue-white decks because I just didn't get past any good creatures. So I was like, well, this will kill like I'm on a red deck. So. Yeah.
Because I only draft one deck in cube anyway. I always draft blue-green ramp, which here in Seattle we call damp broccoli.
Okay, I see it.
It's the only deck I ever draft in the cube because it's far and away the best deck if you get it. And so I was just getting it every single cube, and then, I mean, mulled to 5 or whatever, draws were bad, and then I got attacked by a Baneslayer Angel for and wanted to kill myself because it's like borderline unplayable in cube. There's my blowout.
Trying to think of something interesting that happened to me.
Well, we should get Adam's opponent on.
Yeah, I mean, I Genesis Wave.
The channel Genesis Wave.
Well, I tried to cast Mind's Desire, and my opponent had literally any Magic the Gathering card. Like that was a thing, I guess. But yeah, no. Oh, sorry. The one time I was mono red, because people were in the chat like really wanting me to draft mono red because I'm not really sure why mono red was so popular. Like I heard Luis did a bunch of articles where he just like first pick Ravenous Baboons and kill people with mono red cards. And that's definitely a thing you can do in cube. But like people in the chat were like, yeah, we got to take these red cards, we got to move in. So I did it one time. Like I moved in on red and I had a mono red deck. And my opponent tinkered for Sundering Titan on like turn 3 or something. And I was like, well, okay, I'm dead. And then game 2, he tinkered for Artifact of Chroma, the one with red and like Sphinx of the Steel Wind. And then he told me after he tinkered, he was like, I sideboarded this one in just for you. Okay, like, thank you, sir. I am happy that you told me that Sphinx of the Steel is not in your main deck. Tinker. And, yeah, that happened to me.
How'd that taste?
It tasted bad, man. It tasted real bad.
Oh, okay. That's weird.
I boarded that in against a red deck without having Tinker in my deck, and then I just hardcast it on turn 7.
Sure, and then they died.
And that worked. That way works
enough,
too,
yeah. I mean, I don't know, like, I feel like people just didn't understand how the red deck worked. Like, people really wanted me to move in on red, and then they just wanted me to take, like, every card that costs 4 or more, and it's like, those aren't actually good in the red deck, like, because they need to be dead, like, by that point, or else.
Well, I mean, it depends on what 5-drop it is.
I mean, kind of, like.
I mean, Thunderblast is retarded.
Sure, but you can't have like 7 Thunderblasts in your deck.
Sure, because there's only one in the cube.
Okay, but like there are a million Rorixes. You can't just take every Rorix and be like, now I will be the mightiest dragon wizard. Like, that doesn't actually work.
I mean, I agree and disagree. Like, the cards that cost over 4 are fine, depending on which ones they are. I only know this because this is a cube that I draft 3 times a week. We actually have the live copy of it. It's Max McCall's cube, and that's what we're using in a cube competition right now. And one of my teammates drafts mono red exclusively. So the cards that cost more are perfect fine. You don't have to be blitz mono red every time.
Well, like, you have a certain number of slots in your deck that can go to those big cards, and like, yeah, I'm not saying you can't have any of them ever in your deck. I'm just saying, like, they have diminishing returns. Like, the first one is really good. You want to have, like, at least one to cause them to die. But the 7th one is a lot less good. So you can't
I agree with
everything
that.
you see.
I would agree with that statement, yes.
Yeah, sorry, like I didn't mean you can never play a card that costs more than 4. I just mean you can't play all of the cards that cost more than 4.
Sure.
Unless you're like on a different deck completely. Then you're just sort of like a weird red control deck that tries to get him with Rorix.
Michael J. Flores, I believe, was a big fan of that deck.
Yes, Big Red.
Oh, the one where you you played top and then you threw the top at them and drew a card and you just
Yes.
over that interaction. He was like, "But I'm drawing a card," and it was like, "But it doesn't beat anything. I'm drawing a card."
Adam Ragsdale, you don't understand. The philosophy of fire.
Please don't.
It's the sharp block.
Please. The only person I hate more than Ben Weinberg is Mike Flores, so...
Alright. We can lay off on that one.
I just... philosophy of fire makes me want to just do the worst things to the worst people.
Wouldn't it be even worse if you wanted to do the worst things to the best people? Like, wouldn't that be objectively lower on the...
I know, that would be even worse, but, like, I'm trying to be somewhat nice.
Okay. Alright. Fair.
It's just, he's so stupid. He hasn't made a good deck in, like, 5 years, and it just drives me crazy.
Wait.
My favorite Flores story, if we can. Are we there yet? Yeah, I think
Yeah, we can go into this. It gives me a reason to...
I played against him, and I was playing black-white, and he was playing white-red, and it was in the, like, Tele-Wisp format, where I was playing Descendant of Kiyomaru, which is 3 casting cost, 3/5 lifelink when you have more cards in hand than they do. And I played against him, and I thrashed him, because he was playing white-red aggro, and I played these 3/5 lifelink creatures main deck. And afterwards he was complaining to me, and I was like, oh, well, you know, I think your deck's okay. I told him, he told me, yeah, I think it's pretty good. We just have trouble in the Heartbeat matchup. And I told him, well, me and my friends, we've been playing Hidetsugu's second right against Heartbeat. Hidetsugu's second right, 4 mana, deals 10 damage to them if their life total is exactly 10.
In cube.
And,
a lot of fun.
And Flores was like, oh, really? And literally the next Swimming with Sharks column that he wrote was about his white-red deck, which had 4 copies. 4 copies of Hidetsugu's second right in it. And he name-dropped me, the captain of Clansenburg. Nobody knows who I am, but he name-dropped me. And I was like, yeah, this is super special tack from Joe and Ribs. 4 copies. Hidetsugu's right.
Well, look at you. On top of the world.
I'm famous.
I think that Hidetsugu's second right is really fun. It's a fun card to play.
Well, there's no doubt about it.
Was it clear to everybody that we didn't actually all play that card in white-red? Was that clear to everybody?
Apparently the sound is dying.
Sound is terrible.
That can't be true. Don't believe
Restart XSplit now. I really like that spelling of restart because it's, well...
Yeah.
I'm not
I
gonna
mean,
say why.
I was informed I should mute the sound and unmute the sound, and I did, and now it is apparently better. I don't know. I mean, we're just sort of goofing around now anyway, right? Like, I don't know. Hidetsugu's second right is a lot of fun. It's a lot less good if they know you have it, because then they have like any Magic the Gathering card and or a Pain land and kill you. It's also, I guess it's better now that there's no mana burn. You used to just be able to burn a 9 and then like,
And then embarrass them,
Yeah.
which was sweet, actually.
Yeah.
Healing Leaves, Shock, Hidetsugu's second right. Take 10.
Okay. You raise a good point. Well,
All right, I don't have to go
Oh
on
my
my
God.
tangent about how come I hate Flores. That's good. I have to get there.
Hey, Cedric, you said Flores built a good deck 5 years ago. What deck would that be?
Maybe.
We
Maybe
should
that's the
all
last time
play a
we did
game
that.
of MODO Two-Headed Giant. I think that is the best recommendation I've ever heard.
that sounds like a terrible idea. I played like
So
a
we shouldn't actually-
multiplayer commander game with a bunch of viewers at one point because I was like, I don't really want to do anything. I'll just goof around. Maybe some people in the chat will like, and it took like 7 hours, and we played like 4 turns or something. It was really bad. Like I don't.
I always just join with my desire and kill everyone on turn 4, mill every single deck, including my partners.
Jarvis, you know your Magic history.
Yeah?
What is the last good deck Flores made?
Flores never built a good deck.
That's not true.
Alright,
Jarvis,
fine.
you. Jarvis, you on Michael J. Flores.
Maybe the mono-black vampiric tutor deck was good.
Yeah, Napster was probably good.
Yeah, didn't he make? Yeah, like the Necro thing was legitimately good, right? Like that was before my time, but I hear a lot of people talk about it, and some of them aren't my floors. So
This is not the Necro deck. This is the mono-black silver bullet deck.
Yeah, this is like a one parish, one of a bunch of stuff deck.
Yeah, I mean, Finkel top-aided Nats with it.
yeah,
Someone in the chat is saying critical mass.
He did not build that deck. He did not actually build that deck. Some Spanish GP built that deck. He just added a trained Armadon to the deck. That's literally the only thing he did to that deck.
Literally, the only thing he did was add trained Armadon.
Yeah, he broke it.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Someone is saying that Flores made Twin.
No, everyone figured out Twin.
that's like saying someone
I
built
think everyone
Affinity.
figured out that a 2-card combo was legal and standard.
Yeah. Like Affinity was actually built in like 20 spots simultaneously because it was the main mechanic of the set. Like the set came and they gave you like a precon and they were like, now add good cards and you will win. So that's not really...
I went ahead and net decked Affinity, but
And seriously,
I'm sure that other people did build it.
I don't know the last time he built a good deck, but he always says these things where he's just like, I'm so smart, and writes all these history articles and all this stuff.
Well,
and
maybe he is so smart.
In like 10 years.
Had you considered that? What if he just is so smart?
He's pretty smart. I mean, you didn't let me go into the philosophy of fire stuff.
Oh,
but
that's true, I didn't. I did
top
not let you
plus
do that.
Rapid
I don't know.
Blast.
I don't know. I mean, I've never met the man in person. So I just know that he said some really mean things about, like...
He's as arrogant as he writes.
Like, I don't know. I just, like, I remember he was really, really, really mean to, like, Peebles when Peebles was sort of getting on the Pro Tour and, like, was doing really well. He was like, this guy is a jerk and terrible. And it was like, who are you? Like, what do you do? I don't know. I was just sort of offended by proxy about that. But no, I don't know. Never met the dude, so.
Yeah, Peebles is a pretty hard person to dislike, too.
I know, Peebles is awesome.
He's one of the nicest people I've ever met.
He's quite a wizard, too.
That makes me hate Flores even more. I didn't even know that. Thank you. More ammunition.
2 mana. So you pay 2 mana and a card. You deal them 7 damage.
Wait, what are we talking
This is
about?
instant speed.
Is this a trained Armadon?
Instant
Like,
speed.
who? What?
Are we talking about Gnarled Mass?
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty gnarly. Like, as masses go.
I loved how this article was like, I started with a Zowl and Lighten Bushi.
Sal wasn't even
But
good,
you see-
so...
Is that the one mana
Without-
flipper card?
Well, yeah, then he arrived at Gnarlnest, Jarvis.
It is. Okay, I don't know.
Sal is an uncounterable 2-1 for
Oh, the
free.
2-1. The 2-1 that's... Okay, yeah.
And it regenerates
target
Samurai.
Okay, yeah. I'm with
Literally, that deck should not have a Sal or Gnarled Mass in it. It should just have more real threats.
Jarvis, you on Critical Mass.
So, I have a funny story about Gnarled Mass.
Yeah.
So, my friends in Ohio, during that block, we played a game called Your Mother Is Blank. And I played it for a long time, but during Kamigawa block, there were a lot of really good ones, like Your Mother Is a Gnarled Mass, or Your Mother Hungers.
What was
So,
that? Sorry.
Your Mother is a He Who Hungers.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So, if you ever come across any cards that are good for that now, because it's been about 8 or 9 years since we played that game, there's a lot of good ones in Kamigawa Block. Kamigawa Block, as hated as it was, has a lot of good functions in real life stuff. Like if you're ordering a pizza and you don't feel like using your real name, you can put the order name under one of the Kamigawa Block legends. Try to do it without laughing.
Alright.
Or like when you go to a restaurant and you have to put your name on a wait list, and you say they ask for your name and you say your name is like Kogama or Moloku or something, and then when they call Moloku for 5, it's pretty humorous.
Right.
It's a good set for some of the things that you wouldn't think it would be used for, because it was god awful for Magic.
I don't know. Your reference to that pizza thing just makes me think of, like, my introduction to the Pro Tour was, like, I don't even remember who I was talking to. Someone was, like, I went into the actual physical hall the PT was in, at the first PT I was at, which was the only PT because I stopped playing shortly thereafter. But he was like, one of the first things you need to know is you might want to order a pizza to the venue, and if you do that, you need to, like, go to the door, because there are a lot of Magic players in this venue, and, like, if Magic players see a pizza, there's just, like, a fucking frenzy, and people will just come take your pizza and, like, pay the pizza guy, and you will never see it. Like, you'll never be aware that the pizza has been delivered. And I was like, this is what I was, like, this is what I was qualifying for. I was qualifying for guys who will take your pizza. And yes, in fact I was, so...
That's correct. That's 100% correct.
I think that's where I met you for the first time, Sed, because you were like you were staking peoples to money draft people.
Yeah, buddy, I was.
At that PT. That's the one where peoples beat J. Evan Dean so hard that he actually conceded one of round one.
I remember that. Actually.
It's my favorite Magic the Gathering story of all time. But yeah, it was. I mean, it was fun, but it didn't have the same sort of majesty that I had imagined in my mind, and it had a lot more pizza stealing.
That's fair. That pizza story is really good. I could definitely see someone doing that.
Well, like, I saw it happen. Like, it was a real thing. It was just, like, that occurred to me. What did you say?
What PT was this? Was it Charleston, maybe?
Yeah, Charleston.
I knew it.
Were you the man who ordered the pizza and it never...
Oh, of course not. Come on. No one's going to touch me. Do you think someone's going to steal my pizza? Are you kidding me? Right now, I'm deep in the tank looking for Your Mother Is from the new set.
From Avacyn?
From Avacyn. Huh.
There has to be one. Your Mother Is a Banishing Stroke? Nah, it doesn't play well.
Yeah, not sold on that. Your Mother Is a Terminus is, like, okay, but...
Your Mother Is a Righteous Blow?
Oh, that's alright.
Okay. I'm going to find one before this is over. I swear. Your Mother Is a Geist Snatch. I don't like that. Someone put that in the chat. That one's actually not that bad. I'm trying not to laugh.
Your two best teammates for the team GP? Alright, that seems reasonable. Who are your two ideal teammates, Sed?
Well, my two ideal teammates for the team GP are the two people I'm teaming with. So, last year, when my friend from Maryland, Stephen King, quit Magic, and my other friend, Tommy Ashton, whose name on Moto is Stainerson, perhaps you've seen him, I made a pact at PT Philly that if there was a team GP or PT ever again, that we were going to team together. So, as soon as they announced it, Stephen messaged me begrudgingly and said that he's going to go, we're going to team, whatever. We have a theme for our team. We are going to dress up in Washington Wizards jerseys because they're the worst basketball team in Tarnation. And we're going to have afros and jerseys with no shirt under, and it's just going to be the most fun thing of all time. And I have to sit in the middle so that Tommy and Steven don't fight each other during the tournament.
Alright. That seems
It
reasonable.
couldn't get better. It could not get better for me.
Yeah. So the reason Steven quit Magic was he lost in the finals of like 5 PTQs or something that season.
It was 4 PTQs that season with Jun.
Yeah, he was real upset.
Oh, and you wouldn't be?
I would be too.
All right.
I wasn't saying it's bad or anything, but like he just lost the fire after that.
Yeah, that may have killed it for me too.
I don't know who my ideal teammates were. I know I played a two-headed giant GP with Slurch, and I had a lot of fun.
Who's Slurch?
Charles Starling.
Yeah, Charles Starling.
Inventor of Armadillo Cook and Phantom Centaur.
Are you sure Flores didn't come up with that?
No, I think we've got the lockdown on bad decks with Talawisp in them. I don't think he could possibly.
Okay, fair enough.
But no, it was we had a lot of really fun experiences. Like our opponent played Pyrrhemia, which is a card which actually just ends the game instantly in two-headed giant, and then they didn't kill us for like 7 turns. So we were having these conversations like, do you think do you think that they're going to cause us to die? And they just wouldn't. And then we actually we got to a point where we were just laughing uncontrollably whenever they did anything, because they were just they would stop on our end step and they'd be like, ping you with pirate ship, and we'd be like 27, and then they'd go to their turn, and then afterwards one of the guys asked, this was like the match for day 2, I think it was, and they just murdered us. We were stone dead. And they were like, why were you laughing? And we just had no answer. We were like, we heard a really funny joke right in the middle of the match and couldn't get it out of our heads. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. I don't know. I also played at a team PT with a couple guys, and they were really sweet. So I don't know. Could get them, but I don't know. I had the most fun with Charles, I think.
Who'd you play with in Charleston?
Duncan McGregor and
Scott?
Bill Nielsen.
Oh.
I met Duncan once.
I haven't seen Duncan in so long. Does he still exist?
He still
He
exists.
occasionally plays Modo.
He does not play Magic competitively, as I understand it. He's more of a board game type of guy, I believe, at this current juncture.
Yep.
Okay.
I don't think we have anything better than Your Mother is a Righteous Blow. I'm gonna say it right now.
Okay.
My team GP experience was with legendary forum troll Estelle, and another Robert, who we were Team Savage Beats, and we bought beats at the grocery store before the tournament and carved faces in them, and they were all mascots. And it was good times. They weren't very good partners. I built all 3 decks, and then they lost with theirs every single round, I think.
Okay.
I wouldn't choose them again, but I think I might go with Savage Beats again, with the grocery store purchasing.
I think I'll be at this Team JP. I only have one teammate right now, and it's Nicholas G. Lim.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you
Oh, you have Nick Lynn?
yeah, Cedric defeated him
Shit.
in Kyoto, I believe.
I destroyed him.
Yeah,
Where is this GP, Jarvis?
It's on the West Coast, right? Like San Jose?
San
Yeah,
Jose.
San Jose.
I've been to a GP there before, so I have experience in that area. I can tell
This
you...
is San Jose place. Oh, that's in California?
I can tell you it is a long bus ride from Toronto.
You could take an airplane
I
to
believe
link
that.
with.
No, he doesn't have any money.
I gotta...
Tournament. Jesus God.
Well, I
What,
probably
there?
won't. It was actually pretty cheap.
Let me know if you still need a third later on, Jarvis.
We'll probably find someone.
No guarantee. That's
Thanks, Jarvis. Thanks, Jarvis. Jarvis, I'm still really good at Magic. I'm just drunk right now.
So if we
Drunk
could have
on
a
root beer, right? Root beer.
yeah, drunk off root beer.
Classic root beers.
Right.
Sugar is a lot like ethanol, except you don't get the buzz.
Are we done? I feel like we're done.
I think
Is
we're
it
done.
over?
We can,
Well, it's been not over for quite a while.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go get dinner. Should I get Chipotle or chicken teriyaki?
Chicken teriyaki, not close.
I vote chicken teriyaki.
I'm there with you guys.
You guys all chicken teriyaki immediately? Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Why?
You know, Chipotle is like...
Is there an explanation for your reasoning?
Chipotle is McDonald's, except it's
McDonald's
Mexican.
does not own Chipotle and hasn't for 5 years.
But it's like McDonald's, which is Mexican. This has no bearing on
The chat
this
wants
in
you
the
to go
way
to
it's
Chipotle, so maybe you should do that. I don't actually have any knowledge. I just thought the chicken teriyaki sounded good, so I don't feel strongly towards either position. The chat like really strongly wants you to go to Chipotle, I think. So maybe that's actually a better option.
Yeah.
That's why we don't have them in the booth.
How could you possibly
Making the
compare
call
Chipotle
back.
to McDonald's? That's the most ludicrous thing I've ever heard.
Didn't? I think
That was
I've
me.
only
And I stand by
I've only eaten with you in one place, and I think that was the Cheesecake Factory.
That place fucking blows.
Yeah, Cheesecake Factory is not good.
It's one of the worst restaurants
Cheesecake
I've ever been
Factory
to.
is like
It was
McDonald's mixed with
it was
cheesecake.
in Indy, right? Indianapolis, I think.
I don't feel like I would eat at the Cheesecake Factory in Indy, but there's a chance I did.
It might not have been there. It might have been somewhere else. I'm fairly certain it was you, and I think GT was there. And I'm pretty sure
I feel like I remember this, but
it was a Cheesecake Factory, and I don't remember where it was. But
it definitely wasn't in downtown Indy. I think it was a suburb because we were bored.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it wasn't for a tournament. It was when you were there hanging out.
Okay, that's possible.
Yeah, the Cheesecake Factory is the worst restaurant. I'd rather eat McDonald's. I said it.
Okay.
I meant it too.
That's effectively saying that you'd rather eat fries than cheesecake.
I went to a Cheesecake Factory because I'd never been to a Cheesecake Factory, and I really like cheesecake. And it turns out those things are not really related, like cheesecake and the Cheesecake Factory, which is weird. But
No, the Cheesecake Factory is more like actually just a factory.
Yeah, it's just a factory of food.
That's the more important word. Yeah.
They just pump out mediocre food. That's all they do. And they charge you a lot of money for it.
Yep.
It's hard.
Right there with you.
All right, I think it's over.
So I sort of want to talk about streaming, but we can just go instead. That's
I'm
fine,
going to
too.
go eat some Chipotle right now. You guys are stupid.
Go
all
away.
right,
Cedric.
see you guys later. Thanks
Go
for
away.
being around.
Okay, love you. Bye.
We're this way. Steven, Adam, Jarvis, Cedric.
Okay.
Bye,
See you
guys.
later.
Bye.
Bye.